Hey. Sorry, still getting everything situated here. Hope all is well. Yeah, I'm live. Well, they're supposed to be. I mean, I spoke to both of them earlier, and they both said they were fine with it. So, well, you know, if they don't show up any, and you and KJ want to go at it, that's fine too. I mean, whatever works. Or, like I said, I'm just gonna say what I gotta say. Either way. Hey, Mr. Malloy, what's going on? Hey, Michigander. Well, like I said, that's between you two, man. You know, I've never had a problem with him personally, so. You like the thumbnail picture I chose? I was digging around and I'm like, what would suit this stream title? And like, I mean, obviously Asmar is here. Asmar, whatever. ASMR. I've been yelled at for saying Asmar. Like, no, it's ASMR. I'm like, I know, but it gets annoying to say every time. No Justice and NE were going at it earlier. Like, big time going at it, so. That's all you, Michigander. I mean, good luck with that. Albert, I mod the people that I know aren't clones that have been verified accounts. Because there's so many freaking clones going around then. So that's why I do that. It has nothing to do with picking sides or playing favorites or anything else other than just trying to weed out the clones. I mean, I don't. Last I knew, PDF was still live. But he knew. I told him what time I was going live, and Albert, I'm waiting for PDF. I don't know. I mean, he said he was up for it if Asmar showed up. What's up, Terry Golson? I'm not letting either or up until both are on. Just so you know, I'm not going to be accused of playing favorites. So that's just is what it is. The whole point of this is if they want to go at each other, nobody can accuse anyone of playing favorites with either of them. Nobody can say nobody gave them a fair shot at each other, or one has power over the other on a stream, or any of that. That was the whole point of this. Oh, man, thanks, Terry. I really appreciate that. But the whole point of this was just either they come to a resolution or they don't. Either way, those of us watching can watch. I mean, I would like to hope that if they do decide to both come up, that they're not going to scream over each other and actually listen to each other, or at least give each other a chance to yell, one or the other. What's up, Slacker? I mean, at this point, we're still figuring that out, man. I was trying to give Poor Dirt Farmer and ASMR Audits a fair ground to go at each other on without anyone accusing anyone else of favorites or having power over each other on the stream. So that was the only reason I said I would do this, was it's not playing favorites with either. It's just let them go at it, work it out, or scream at each other, whatever, and we could all watch them do it. If one or the other doesn't show, then obviously they're not coming on, so I guess then I'll just do what I gotta do and rant and let people up to talk or whatever, but I'm not gonna have one fighting over the other without them both here, or fighting about each other. You know what I mean? I'm trying to, Mr. Malloy. It's just there's so much going around. People are accusing each other of playing favorites or whatever, and it's like, fine, I'd offer a fair level playing field. Well, Asmar, I don't know if KJ even wants to come up. He said earlier he would deal with it his own way, so, which is fine. I mean, I have to respect his choice. So, who's your boyfriend, Happy? Joe. Well, that's assuming they even decide to do it. I mean, I can't force either or both to do it. I offered. If either or decides they don't want to do it, that's their choice. It's not like they're chickening out. If they decide not to do it, I'm not going to accuse them of that. If they decide not to do it, they decide not to do it. I'm not going to say they're chickening out. But if that's the case, then I'll just let whoever up to come say whatever, aside from that topic. For crying out loud. I'm not going to have this a one-sided shit show. So. Well, any fan, KJ never said he was going to. He said he would handle it his own way. I only offered the platform. So I can't say that KJ doesn't show when he never said he would to begin with. He's been on a panel a few times, Happy. Hey, Wilma, what's up? Wait, that the real you? Now, Taryn said the same thing when she was here, the first stream I did, or the second, actually, that I had done in over 2 years. She was like, man, I haven't been on one of your streams since, 2019. Okay, well, I guess I'll just frickin' change the damn message to whatever, because, I mean, I'm not going to wait all day for whoever to show, so. Wilma taught you all you know. Wilma's something else, man. He could, he's a master. It doesn't hurt that he's got Taryn on his side. If somebody wants to come up or whatever, fine. Like I said, this just isn't going to be a yell about PDF without PDF here stream. So, Joe, I didn't have to. They both knew. I'm also not going to be accused of having somebody controlling my stream then when they're not even here. So, what's up, MIB? What's going on, brother? One of the things I was talking about, though, you know, that I put in the title was just being sick and tired of people getting pushed out. Like the really good people in this community that have helped other people, not just this community. By community, I mean all communities, I guess, because we all come from different quote-unquote communities. But people getting pushed out that helped other people, that have done nothing but be kind. Like all this crap with frickin' Connie. I'm so over this now already. Oh, supposedly he turned over a new leaf in the blink of an eye. Like, really? People, I mean, I severely hope nobody actually believes that. I mean, that's just absolutely absurd. And the fact that people would act like they believe it, and instead of taking the side of the people that he hurt, that bothers me. And it bothers those people. Well, I understand most of that, Albert. I used to be pretty fluent in Spanish, but I didn't use it for so long that, you know, I forgot a lot of it. The area I grew up in was primarily Puerto Rican families. I loved it, man, getting all the Puerto Rican food. Connie's going off right now. Again, imagine that. What a surprise. Well, some of it is produced happy. It absolutely is. But some of it is not. There are some people I talk to offline that are, you know, completely away from YouTube that are being affected by it. Good people that have done nothing but help others. And then some piece of shit like him just comes along and says, oh, I'm a good guy now. Accept me. And others act like that's okay? That's ridiculous. I'm sorry. Yeah, you're right, Slacker. And, you know, I can't tell you how many times I've been accused of being a rapist supporter just because I supported some before I knew the truth. And afterwards, I didn't just come right out and be a super hater of them. It's like, no, I mean, I backed away, I spoke my mind. I don't support that shit at all. Absolutely not. But I'm not going to make my life about trying to bash them either. Hey, Tonic, what's up, man? Haven't seen you here the last couple streams. I hope all is well. I tried to say hi on your damn stream, but you just ignored me, you bum. No, I heard about the hostel thing. I heard that she basically dumped him and took the van and his dog, or something like that, and just ran. I find it absolutely hilarious because Defend is a douche. So, you know, he gets no sympathy from me anyways. You're right, Chi-Town. I get it. No, it's alright, Tonic. I'm just poking at you. You know I do that. Just like when you chew into the mic, I have to poke fun at you. I thought it was funny because I never noticed until I actually got these headphones and can in here. It was like, oh yeah, he does chew into the damn mic. How funny is that? Prior to that, I could only go by what other people say. Wilma. Hey, Punky. That's see, Wilma's good with them frickin' one-liners, man. Wilma could keep you laughing for hours with one-liners. What's up, slow burner? The panel's open. I mean, the link is there. Like I said, the way I got my setup, though, if you're on the panel, there's no way for me to show you the chat. So you have to have two windows open or whatever to watch the chat if you want. It's just the way my OBS is set up, and my system doesn't have the horsepower on video to do a virtual camera so that I could pipe the chat over to StreamYards. Yeah, I heard that Stevie stuff, he was lying. Albert, you know, I'm trying, man. I can't force people to come on. I offered the platform, so... Oh, yeah, that's real funny, Slow. I haven't heard that before. I think even Wilma used that one like 3 years ago. You're that stoned already, Michigander? Has anybody verified if that Stevie stuff was true, though? Did he really lie about that? Because, I mean, damn, if he lied about that, that's insane. Hey, any fan and Tonic, y'all want to go at it? Hey, whoever, it's open. All I say is if Stevie did in fact lie about that, that's wrong. That is messed up. I thought people had verified it with like FOIA requests and shit. Oh, that's right, Tonic. I forgot. Hey, Heather. Albert, careful, man. You don't want to bring the wrath of Terran on you. I mean, Wilma, you know, yeah, you go after Wilma, but, man, I wouldn't mess with Terran. I said the one day, I'm like, Terran scares me the most. And she's like, what? It's spooky. Well, Michigander, you do live, like, in the middle of the frickin' forest, you know. It's gonna happen. Yeah, frickin' Connie tried to say I wished cancer and death on some woman for 2 years. I'm like, what the hell are you talking about? Where's your receipts? Because I've never done that to anybody. And that's another thing, you know, that the whole Connie crap. It's like just lie after lie after lie. But, you know, all of a sudden he turned over a new leaf just like that. I haven't heard him admit that he freaking lied about his tire. Because everybody knows that was a freaking lie. I don't know if you know about that Chi-Town citizen, but this guy, Rebel, everybody calls him Connie. I don't know if you're aware of that whole situation, man. But you should have seen it. He tried to call the cops, or he did call the cops. He tried to say somebody slashed his tire while it was in motion, and they cut it in like a square cut. It's literally like a square flat. It's an obvious impact blowout. Like anybody with half a brain can see that. No pun intended. But it's so blatantly obvious it's a freaking impact blowout. And he literally called the cops to say that it was slashed. And then he goes on this big long rant to the cops. He's trying to spout. I mean, he had them for a while. And then he had them on his side for a while. Then he started spouting freaking all this conspiracy crap about people threatening his lives and blah, blah, blah. And, hey, look, it's Swammy, everybody. The guy whose floor is covered in used toilet paper and beer cans lies about everything. He loves to toss salty ranch salad. That guy. Guy can't freaking wake up without grabbing a beer. That one. He's even gone as far as to create a fake Ozark Hillbilly account just to try to make me look bad and say that I stole money from Ozark, even though Ozark and I both showed all of our PayPals back then and made sure everybody knew where every penny went. He still tries to do that, like anybody's going to fall for that. Oh, that I can verify. I was there when Rick Crew did tell Stevie that. I can honestly say I didn't see any say that, but I also wasn't there the entire time. But I did see Rick Crew say that. Rick Crew is just like one of the biggest freaking douches to ever come on YouTube. Like, the man's been sending all these fake threats for freaking years. I've literally like gotten to the point where I've begged people to go pick him up and bring him here. That's right, Swammy, run away. Go ahead. Little baby. Run back to your little salty rant and your Tammy Lili and all those. But, I mean, literally, like, I have begged people to bring Rick Crude here. Let's see how big and tough he really is. Yeah, see, I'm losing the crowd, man. Nobody showed up that was going to. I mean, come on. Well, I mean, Asmar showed up, but still. Yeah, Heather, that's Rick for you. I loved when frickin' Poon tore him apart about his affiliations with the racist gangs or whatever you call them. Poon ripped him to shreds about it. That was frickin' hilarious. Swammy calls me an e-beggar just because I mean, my Cash App thing is on the screen, so apparently that makes me an e-beggar. Go ahead, send me Cash Apps. You want to call me an e-beggar and send? Hey, go for it. I'm not going to complain. That would be you, STL. Oh yeah, Chi-Town. He streams all the freaking time. He thinks people actually care what he says. It's hilarious because Tonic will analyze Rick Crude's videos late at night, and it's freaking great because Tonic does a great show. And he'll have on like Steph and all them, and they'll play Rick Crude's video. And he usually streams about 2 in the morning Eastern time, so 1 a.m. your time, I believe. Yeah, I think Chicago is 1 hour behind me. I don't know. It's 3:20 something now here. So, but Tonic will analyze Rick Crude's videos, and it's freaking great. Especially when Rick Crude tries to come in and tries to act like he's king shit. Yeah, of course, Keebler. I mean, sorry, but, you know, this was known for hours, so... Dude, Chi-Town, even freaking Be More Mouse is still around. He's got 2 channels he's still trying to scam from. Once again, I mean, you know, panel's open. If anybody wants to come up, talk shit, whatever. Hey, at this point, I'm like, I would love to hear other people's opinions about the whole bullshit with Connie and his fake, you know, turning over a new leaf at the drop of a hat. Like, everybody's supposed to fall for that. Hell, Keebler and frickin' Asmar, why don't y'all two come up here? I know you two have had an interesting relationship. I'm just really, really, really bothered by the fact that there are some really good people that are considering and are, in fact, leaving the YouTube world, or at least these communities, because of the crap with Connie. Well, you don't have to use your camera. Well, same difference, Heather. I mean, a lot of people think it's all planned by him and Sweet. I don't know how true that is. I'm just saying a lot of people say it. Hey, Bayou. Either way, it's still bull. Man, Keebler, you seem to have a lot of fans. I just hate, you know, people are, you know, it was brought up again earlier. Actually, I was having a discussion with somebody who calls me, I'm sure you could figure out who it is just by me saying it, but I'm a treasonous bastard, traitor-loving, bootlicker, blah, blah, blah. All because I said that there are laws in this country aside from what the Constitution defines. Apparently, that statement in and of itself makes me a treasonous bastard. I'm like, really? I don't defend traitors or any of that. I defend my family. I stand up for my family. I'm also well aware that there are laws in this country beyond the Constitution. But, you know, I said it earlier, you know, Slacker can tell you. I've been talking about this crap for a long time now. All the fake auditing, all that crap. And I tried to get it back on track for so long. And this is what it's led to. All this bull. It's so muddied now, people don't even know what community they're in anymore. You got people like frickin' New York Tyrant Poser running around auditing Papa John's Pizza. Give me a break. He tried to say, oh, that was my first audit, so it doesn't really count. But it's not the first private business he's gone to. So it doesn't matter. Yep. I said the same thing, Slacker. I'm telling you, man. We've been talking about that for a long time. What pisses me off is when people sit there and say nobody else was trying to point out the fakes or the problems and all that until they did. And it's like, no. I've been pointing it out for years. Years. Literally. Just like a certain someone tried to say that, you know, them and their, whoever it is they believe in, came up with panels and doing these type of things in the community. I'm like, no, I've been doing this stuff for many years. PMP did it first many years ago. He was the one that started it. And he's the one that taught me. It's like, just because if it didn't happen in the last 2.5 years, apparently it doesn't count. Booty wart. That's funny. Slacker might want to do that audit with you. Slacker's pretty good at auditing blunts. I mean, I'd say he's at a master level now. But I mean, I literally seen like at least 4 different people claim that they were the ones that started calling out the fake audits or the problems with auditing and all that. And it was like, no, I was doing it years before they did. But apparently that doesn't count. Slacker. See? I knew it. Yeah, there's some vets in here, Chi-Town, if that's what you meant in the chat. As far as auditing vets or real vets, both cases. Oh, I don't know, Slacker. He might have you beat, man. Cubans. See, I'm not allowed THC products. My doctors won't let me. Even though it's legal in New York State, even recreationally, I'm not allowed to because of all the medications I'm on. I haven't heard about, you know, what the difference is between using like a Swisher Sweet and using a Cuban. I wonder if there is a difference. I guess that whole versus thing just ain't gonna happen because it's been almost an hour now. Or no, sorry, a little over a half hour, my mistake. And, you know, the offer was there. They said they would be here. Only one showed. So, yeah, Heather, it took them a while to pass it here in New York. And now we got freaking open carry is still in the Supreme Court for New York, waiting on that. Even then, that's really only going to be beneficial if they do like open carry of handguns, not just long barrel rifles and stuff, you know. Well, looks like you need to get up, hook up with Booty Wart there, slacker. Oh, the numbers are dropping even more. Somebody else must have went live or something, or people just don't care to listen to me, either or. And that's another thing, though. It's like, you know, there was a time when I used to do my streams without panels, and I would have hundreds of people in the chat. Nowadays, everybody wants fights and all that. Fights and drama and whatnot. And, you know, if you don't give it to them, they don't support you anymore. Yeah, see, I'm in the Rust Belt, so... Yeah, figures. Of course, Sancho would go live, so that means there it is. Why I didn't get the notification, I don't know, because I am subscribed to Sancho, but apparently everybody's going to go over there instead. That's the other downfall of this now. It's like everybody goes live now, so everybody's stepping on each other's streams. I try not to. I always try to look and see who's live and not step on their streams. Yeah, I know, Slacker. It gets frustrating. I mean, like I said, I used to get hundreds of people in my chats. But when I had stopped streaming like 2 years ago, I was averaging about 300 people per stream in the chat, with busier days at over 500. And when I had Mike the Cop on here, I had over 1,000 people in the chat. Yeah, I can see. As my numbers drop, his waiting list grows. Even yesterday, I tried to do a stream about the frickin' the Ottawa Convoy stuff. As soon as I said anything that might be a con about it versus a pro, everybody left. Nobody wanted to talk about it. Well, I was just an auditor supporter at that time, yeah, Slacker. I mean, because I couldn't get out and audit. I was taking care of my disabled mother and all that back then. But I still got out and did audits eventually and did cop watches and all that. But once it started going downhill and nobody wanted to help try to fix it, it was like, why bother anymore? Now it's just the public image of auditing is so dead, it's not even funny. Some people don't want to believe me. They think running around outside a liquor store is auditing and all that. It's like, no, it's not, but whatever. You know, it just is what it is now. Nobody wants to listen. Nobody wants to make it better. Nobody wants to realize driving all the private citizens away does not help. You're not going to make a difference if you have no support. Just like driving, you know, thousands of truckers refusing to deliver goods, that hurts the citizens. Yeah, I remember Chi-Town. I remember you when you got started, you hooked up with Pink and all that. I remember. When I first started coming around, I was a silent observer, and it was 10 years or so ago, you know, with J.C. Playford and all that. There was very few auditors. But it was strictly about making a difference and spreading knowledge. It wasn't about making money. Yeah, MIB, you know, I tried, man. I got to the point where I felt like it wasn't worth trying anymore. Now I think more about, like, people that do good, that do true good, that really help people. I hope she doesn't mind that I say her name, but Candace, you know, one of the purest hearts I've ever met in my life, whether online or in reality. Candace is an amazing person. I've literally seen her help people and change people's lives. You know, Ross Kahn, too. Back in the day, Ozark Hillbilly. You know, obviously, Ozark Hillbilly, you know, he passed away. But, you know, you look at, like, with Candace and this whole situation. Where's all the support for her? Why are people jumping on Connie's fake turning over a new leaf crap? Why aren't they there supporting her instead? I don't know how much longer I'm going to stay up, MIB, just so you know. I mean, if everybody's just going to go to another channel, then might as well. You know, I don't want to step on anybody else. Oh, I know, Slacker. My channel, including Super Chats, has made less than $3,000 in all the years that I've been monetized. Less than $3,000 in years of being monetized. Think about that. But there are other people that on a bad slow month where they're barely doing anything, are still making $3,000 to $5,000 off their channels. But yet, you know, they complain about needing a couple $100 for a battery. I'm sorry, but it's like, what the heck? I put more into this community over freaking... I guess I would have to say I was silent observer for a while, and then I was anti-auditing for a while. I was literally like the first troll of auditing before I was convinced to come on the side of auditing. But at least over 6-7 years of being active as a supporter and then an auditor cop watcher in the community, I made a total of less than what some people make in 1 month now. But people still called me an e-beggar and all that. Yeah, I know, Slacker. That's what drives me nuts. It's like, you know, I could easily sit here every day and, like, you know, stream for 8 hours a day, every freaking day, and every 10 minutes say, hey, you know, if you want to donate to me, go ahead. If you got to donate to me, go ahead. You know, but I don't. I could have just as easily ran around out in public, quote-unquote, auditing liquor stores and crap like that. Pig processing plants. We got those too here, even in New York. But I don't. Yeah, well, Albert, you know what? Blame them, not me. I tried. I put the forum out there. I gave the platform. I can't help that only one showed. But I mean, you know, I don't, you know, honestly, this is like my 5th stream now, or 6th stream. And other than a few super chats I've got on my channel, I've only gotten 1 Cash App donation since I started streaming again. And it was for $1 by Jason Godet. That is the only Cash App donation I have gotten since I started streaming again. So, I'm not sitting here streaming for money. I mean, I've got stuff I need. COVID hit me just as hard as it did everyone else. I wish my old videos made $3 to $5 grand a month. Albert, I don't know, man. Me and Booty Wart go way back. Well, yeah, see, Booty Wart, that's what I say. If you're going to go out and film that kind of stuff for donations, then call yourself what you are. You're... Albert, thanks, man. I appreciate that. But, I mean, if you're going to go out there and you're going to do that, then call yourself an independent journalist or call yourself an IRL streamer, whatever. But the fact that they called themselves auditors and auditing, that's what ruined it. Booty War. I don't even know if many people know who Booty Wart really is. I'm not going to blow who he used to be. But he has been around auditing a long time. He's seen it all. He was one of the first people that started saying, I'm sick of this, I'm going to walk away. And I didn't blame him back then, but I did try to get him to stay. Hey, Bud Grower, man, thanks for stopping in. Appreciate it, man. Booty Wart is your dad? I'm guessing that's the real Albert, since he gave me a super chat, and, I doubt a fake Albert would do that. James Jacobson, you actually had potential to be a large auditing channel. But you know what happened. You know why that didn't work out for you. Obviously, we all miss Kim, and I'm sorry for your loss on her. But you know why you ended up where you ended up. Booty War, how many people really do know who you are? There's others that told me who they really were, and now they have their new names. I'm not gonna say nothing about who, but it blew my frickin' mind when they told me. I was like, you gotta be kidding me. I had no clue. And these were people that I used to talk to all the time. Even Booty Wart, for a while, I didn't know he was who he is until he told me. And I was like, are you kidding me? Albert. Yeah, Renee, Kim Morehouse, she passed a while ago. No, James, it's not about they don't care about people's rights. It was the way you went about it. I'm sorry, dude, no offense, man. I'm not trying to attack you, but the way you went about it, you literally drove them away from the word go. No offense, man. I'm not trying to attack you or nothing, but A lot of people have done that. They come right off the bat, you know, yelling and calling tyrants and getting mad at them and all that stuff. And it's like, yeah, that's really going to get them on your side and really going to make them want to help you. Yeah, Renee, well, the poor little defend is sitting there now. His little girlfriend abandoned him and took the van and the dog and all the property or whatever. But I mean, yeah, there's been many freaking so-called auditors that they just right off the bat, you know, they don't even give anybody a chance. They just immediately, they want those views and those clicks. So they just start cursing and yelling and tyrant this and that, and walk of shame and all that bullcrap. It's like, that's not helping. Yeah, go along. You know what? I have to actually agree with that. I don't have any illusions that I'm loved and respected and all that. How am I gonna dox you, dude? It's a super chat. It doesn't tell me anything. The only thing that sucks about super chats is freaking YouTube keeping 40% of them. But I have no illusions that I'm loved and respected. I try to earn people's respect. I don't try to earn anyone's love, but that of the people in my real life. But I try to earn people's respect on here as much as I can. Oh, see, I thought you were trying to say like New Orleans PD or some crap when you said NPD. I don't know. I was guessing. That's why I didn't say nothing in reference to the NPD. I wasn't sure I knew. But I mean, I know there's plenty of people that I tolerate and they tolerate me. And, that's just how it is. There's people I enjoy going to their streams and watching the streams. There's other times I only go in there to hang out with the chat. A lot of times, though, even when I charge my ears and put them on, there's so much incoherent babbling on the panel that I can't understand it anyways. And, there's a lot of people that don't have hearing issues that say it's still just as bad. All right, Albert. Thanks again for the super chat, man. Go enjoy, banging your neighbor. Let us know how it works out. If you're back at anything less than like 5 minutes, though, I don't know. You know, I've been freaking fighting for all week to get what... Hey, Nevaeh. No, unfortunately, Nevaeh, the people that said they were going to show up didn't show up. One of them did, but not both of them. So this has been more or less just me babbling and laughing at the chat and enjoying people's company. Hey, Sixth Estate, man. Haven't seen you in a while. How you been? Rev Kelly. Hello. I mean, I could always just pull a Connie, say I need weed, give me money, give me money. I mean, does that work? I'm sorry, I just can't get over this kid. Well, he's not really a kid, he's like 33 or whatever. I'm alright, Sixth Estate, man, same crap, different day. But I just cannot get over the fact that it appears like some people would rather fall for his fake turning over a new leaf than supporting people that have actually helped others. That still bugs the hell out of me. You know, Happy, the one thing I can agree with on that is there's other people that say the same about me, like Swammy and Salty Nuts and Tammy Lili. They love to try to act like they know me and they know they can define who I am and all that nonsense. Hey, TN. And then you got fools like that New York tyrant poser running around. He literally sits in chat, and I kid you not, he sits on panels. This is the guy who audited a Papa John's, mind you. He sits on panels and says, I am a god of the internet. Nobody can touch me. I could do whatever I want. This is my world. Like, really? Dude, you're a freaking drunk that just gets on freaking YouTube. This is a guy who swears he's a computer expert, but yet he didn't discover YouTube until like a year or two ago. What freaking computer expert in this world never heard of YouTube? Can somebody explain that to me? And me and Razillusions and Nova, notably Nova and others, have asked him computer questions, and he always pulls the evasive game. It's always, oh yeah, you could say whatever I want, I don't have nothing to prove to you. Or he'll try to repeat like one specific thing about a computer that he read. Like a specific thing about a video card chipset or something. That's not making you a computer expert. That makes you, well, you read something about video card chipsets. Being a computer expert involves a lot of things. Yeah, like Mouse. The guy who still thinks QBasic is used in the real world. Now, I know, TN, a lot of people say he has cottonmouth really bad. I've never wanted to hear him, so I never put my ears on when he's around. Yeah, Renee, seriously, this guy who says he's a computer expert didn't discover YouTube until like a year or two ago. I'm not kidding you. This guy spent like thousands and thousands of dollars on his computer. And he thinks, well, I'm talking about New York Tyrant Hunter. I call him New York Tyrant Poser. Yeah, he ripped off NC Tyrant Hunter's name. But this guy thinks that just because he's using a user-friendly version of Linux that makes him a computer expert. Now, if any of you have been around a long time and you used Linux of the past, it actually took a brain. You didn't just put it, install it and go. You actually had to know what you were doing. Yeah, Heather, he probably used all plug-and-play parts. But I mean, back in the day, like with FreeBSD, which is based on Unix, I contributed to the damn kernel. If you know anything about Linux and Unix and all that, you know what that means. But this guy uses a user-friendly version of Linux and thinks that makes him an expert. How the hell does that work? Yeah, Heather, he thinks that makes it better. Just because he spelled out New York. The guy lives in Binghamton, New York, people. Binghamton. It's like 2 hours away from me in Rochester. Binghamton is like the Mayberry of New York. The closest thing to a tyrant is a meter maid. But he calls himself a tyrant hunter while auditing Papa John's. That's the auditing world for you now. That's somebody that represents auditing now. Think about that. I'm like, seriously, this is the guy that's supposed to be the next generation of auditing? Yeah, it's definitely doomed. Definitely. So, well, Renee, Rochester's gotten a lot worse over time. I mean, I don't know if you remember the areas of Rochester, but I'm over off Norton by Hollenbeck. This is like one of the worst ghettos of the city. And there was like a shooting in the house behind me like 3 or 4 weeks ago now. A teen girl got hit by a stray through the wall of their house. And like a week and a half, 2 weeks ago now, my roommate and I discovered the neighbor dead. He had been dead for 2 months. So I'm sure you can imagine just how lovely and ripe he smelled. We realized that nobody had seen him since like Thanksgiving. So I went over there to, check on him and, all that. And yeah, that was not fun. I still can't get that out of my head. Yep, 2 months. And here's the kicker. The guy owns like 10 properties. He's a landlord. But he was such a neurotic, paranoid old man. He like newspapered all his windows on his house. And he became a hoarder. So like even his own son didn't check on him. So, my roommate we were just standing in the kitchen one day, and, my roommate looked out the window, and he's like, I haven't seen that truck move since, like, Thanksgiving. And this was a guy who went to church every week and that. And, my roommate's like, we haven't seen him in 2 months, we realized. We thought back, went over there and looked. The snow was built up, the driveway wasn't shoveled or nothing. So it was like, yeah, we had kind of an idea. And so, went over there, and sure enough. And the funny thing is, when I talked about it online here after it had happened, I got called a bootlicker because I said we called the cops to do basically it was a dead body, but they said it was a welfare check. I don't know how that works. But I'm like, how the hell are we bootlickers for calling the cops about a dead body? Can somebody explain that to me? Oh, yeah, Heather, I know. It's the 3rd time I've smelled one. I smelled a hooker in the garbage, or in a dumpster that had been there a couple days, and then a floater in the Genesee River that had been there for about 2 weeks, and that was horrible. And this next door is 100 times worse. Oh yeah, Sixth Estate, he's still around, man. Beware Mouse, he still has 2 channels. He's got his Dick and Roscoe Show channel and something, it's Core Belief, C-O-R Belief, all one word. Sometimes it comes up in search results, sometimes it doesn't. But he's still going. Oh, sorry, Heather. Yeah, even a week had to suck. But yeah, 2 months, it was basically a skeletal mass with a giant puddle. See, I was a teenager. The guy fishing next to me, we were down in the Genesee River Gorge fishing at it's called Lower Falls. You can see pictures of it online. But we were fishing at the part of the falls where there's a pool. And the guy next to me, he thought he had a fish. He hooked into something. So he starts pulling it, and he's pulling, he's like, but it's not fighting. And next thing you know, this freaking floater, the pressure of the falls held him under. So when he freed him from underneath the falls, he just floated up to the top. Oh man, that was bad. And so we were yelling over across the water to the power company. They have, a hydroelectric plant there. And they finally heard us, and like the fire department and all that. The gorge is hundreds of feet deep. They rappelled off of the bridge that was right there to come down, and they kicked all of us out. They're like, we have to preserve the crime scene and look for evidence. We're like, the dude's rotten, and it's a frickin' river. What evidence are you gonna find? We were so mad, they made us all leave. But it's just, man, that smelled horrible. But the neighbors, way worse. Way, way worse. Renee, my favorite are these, not really flat earthers, but they're those gang stalking people. Those, oh my God, what are they called? I forget what they're, targeted citizens, they call themselves. Oh man, those guys are hilarious. They're worse than sovereign citizens, man. There used to be a guy that literally went by the name Targeted Citizen. And he used to say that, like, the FBI broke into his house and gave him fleas. Like, really? He said this. I'm not kidding you. Yeah, well, Slacker, there's a couple of them that sit in PDFs that say, no, this guy, they call themselves Targeted Citizens, Renee. If you look it up on here on YouTube, you'll see. There's a million of them. But these people sit in PDFs trying to say things like, the moon is not real. It's a man-made light. And the Earth really doesn't revolve around the sun. Or nuclear weapons aren't real. Hiroshima and Nagasaki was firebomb, not an atomic bomb. Shit like that. I'm like, are you stupid? Yeah, Sixth Estate. Well, at least it had to smell better than one that was in there for 2 weeks. Don't come in here and try to act all buddy beef. No, I don't play that shit, man. You're a joke. But that targeted citizen guy, He used to say, like, the guy lived near an airport. I kid you not. Like, the airport was a mile down the road. But every single time he saw, like, a helicopter or a plane in the sky, he said they were watching him. It was the government trying to keep track of him. We're like, no, it's a damn airport. Hey, AC, what's up, man? Hey, I tried to give them a platform, AC. I did. I tried to give them free, no favoritism, no one side or the other. Just let them talk or yell or whatever they want. And, I mean, obviously it didn't happen. I tried. Because everybody's always trying to say, well, you know, like you take Asmar's side, or some people said Slowburner takes PDF's side. You know, people were accusing others of being on one side or the other. So I was going to literally let them both come up here, and I was going to step down and let them have at it. I tried. So... Oh, go for it, Bandit. Have at it, man. Have fun. Well, it's also been proven that they are, in fact, full of radiation and... But I'm not going to get into this argument because I know, you know what? No. Some of you people I actually like, and I'm not going to get into this argument about nukes and whatever because I don't want to end up getting mad at people I like. Yeah, I don't watch the news. I don't. Everybody's like, "Oh, you go by the news, man. Major media has you brainwashed." And like, no, I don't watch. I have not watched major media news in probably almost 2 decades. I don't watch YouTube news. I certainly don't go by random YouTubers and say what they say is real. No. I go by facts, by science, by my own research. I mean, I've died twice. I know what I saw. Nobody can take that away from me. No one ever will. I don't care how much they may try. Yeah, slow burner. It's like, I'm sorry, the one thing that that really does annoy me about Asmar is them damn toke out things or whatever. Sorry, but when you do 90 of them in the stream, I find it annoying. That's my opinion. No, Nevaeh, I don't. I don't watch local news. I don't watch national news. I may look up a local story if I hear about something and I want to know what was said, but I don't watch local broadcast news. Of course, don't, if anybody feels like it, there's that right there. Just so you know, go ahead, call me an e-beggar, but it's right there. Top left corner of your screen. Go ahead, call me an e-beggar all you want. Don't care. Well, see, like, for instance, that shooting that happened in the house behind mine. The guy was literally the shooter was less than 100 feet away from my bedroom window. Now, this house has already been hit by 2 strays, both of which were right outside where I put my head on my bed. But luckily, this is one of them old houses. It's like, the plaster and lathing, and it's got the old asbestos siding underneath the aluminum siding. So, when the shooting happened behind us, I looked that up because I wanted to know if they were reporting what actually happened. And they did. They told the actual truth about what happened to a T. I mean, there was no sugarcoating it. There was no exaggerating it. It was exactly what happened, nothing more, nothing less. But that's what I do. I don't just watch it. I look up something when I want to know. Man, it would have been nice if, this worked out the way it was supposed to work out and was actually planned and, people knew about, and would have been interesting to see how it turned out. Oh, I still watch TV, but I watch, streaming TV, like Netflix and that. Like Netflix just added a new Korean zombie series to it. And I'm like halfway through it. It's pretty good so far. I didn't even know it was going to be a series. When I saw the trailer, I thought it was a movie. It's like All of Us Are Dead or All of Us Are Going to Die. I forget the name now. It's not as good as Kingdom. There's a zombie show called Kingdom. All right, Heather, thanks for stopping by. But the Kingdom one actually takes place in like ancient Korea, so it's a whole new take on it. And I thought that alone was interesting because the whole modern day zombie stuff has been played out so bad. And Korea has been doing a really good job getting into the whole zombie genre. But no, I definitely don't watch broadcast TV. I miss the old stuff, though, like Night Court. I love freaking Night Court, man. That was one of my favorite shows. Night Court and MASH. See, I watch Naked and Afraid a lot. I used to really dislike that show, and then all of a sudden it just grew on me. Wow, we're down to 9 viewers. We're doing awesome. Apparently, Sancho's stream must have picked up or something. They're actually watching the New York Tyrant Posers Papa John's audit on Sancho's right now. Oh, yes, Slacker. Man, Night Court was the shit, man. Well, I guess I'm just going to kill this then. Nobody wanted to come up and talk or fight or argue or whatever. None of that. I said my piece about Candace and that. Like I said, people like Candace are the ones that deserve respect and they deserve support. Not frickin' rebel, Connie, whatever the hell you want to call them. Mass troll idiot. I don't care what name he wants to use today. He does not deserve support at all. Candace does. Ross Kahn does. Other people like them do. So, you want to show support for people, show it for them. I appreciate you guys all coming and hanging out. I know, Renee, I'm sorry. I tried. I really did. They all knew about it hours before, and they said they would be here. So, Bayou, I can't. I was using epoxy resin to make the parts, and it turns out the structural integrity of the epoxy resin is not good. It actually started to lose its shape under the weight of the servos in it. So until I can afford to get like 1/4-inch plate aluminum to make the parts out of, it's a shelved thing. You know, I can't do anything more with it. I would love to keep working on that robot. You know, I've got a pile of servos and microprocessors and stuff. No, that's a woman. Ross Kahn. ROSS space KHAN. She has helped many, many, many people. Hey, Six Estates, I appreciate that, man. Thank you. She is a wonderful woman. She has given away a ton of money to help people. And she's dealing with her own health issues right now, so... Yeah, see, I won't get on Discord, Slacker. You know what you need to do is you need to go to Tonic and Sales streams late at night. Like, when you were doing your stream the other night, when you got porn bombed, he's usually live around then, at least every other night or so. But his name is Tonic and Sales. If somebody could post the link, all one word, TONICANDSAILS. All one word. If you go to his streams late at night, you know, he's usually live around 2 a.m. Eastern time, my time. You'll definitely get caught up on a lot of the whole quote-unquote drama community and the fight community and the auditing community all in one. And the nice thing about most of his streams is people aren't yelling over each other. Renee, she's been around for years, but to the auditing community, yeah. You know, as much as a community they may be, but, yeah, you know, she was doing her own thing. She was doing trivia nights and music nights on her channel. No, Renee, servos, as in I was building a robot using many servos. I don't know who Tom Servo is. I was actually building a robot using servos. A lot of them. 16 or 17, I believe. Each one of them was very powerful, so the epoxy resin parts unfortunately failed as a result. I'm going to have to change the name of this stream just because it ended up not being a fight thing at all. It was just me babbling since nobody came up. That sucks. Maybe they'll do it on slow burners later. Who knows? The only thing that sucks is some people have accused slow burner of favoritism. It's not the case. He tries to be equal too. I've watched slow burner try to be an equal platform for people to talk. I mean, hell, he even let that idiot Rick Crude up and talk. Well, I've seen some Truth Seeker streams that were decent. I haven't seen a single solitary flat earther stream that remotely had a brain. But that's my view of it. Like I said, I won't get into that argument with you. Yeah, I know, TN, but there's like that Stevie guy who supposedly lied about his brother. You know, supposedly he got shot in the head by a cop, and he's been in the hospital with part of his brain exposed. Now people are saying he was lying about that. So, now that's another topic people will be going on about. But at any rate, like I said, I appreciate y'all for coming. Why don't you head on over to El Sancho's stream, check him out, see what he's up to. I mean, last I looked, like I said, he was playing New York Tyrant Posers video. I don't know, I've definitely heard of him and laughed a lot. A whole lot. Nevaeh. But like I said, you know what? If anybody feels like it before you walk out the door, that Cash App's up in the corner. Go ahead, yell at me and call me an e-beggar, Connie. I know you're watching. Sorry, I had to. He always says I'm an e-beggar. It's more fun if I actually do it. So, alright guys, anyways, factually this time, I'm, yeah, Cable, I thought that was funny. People bitch at me because I used to associate with News Not Houston in the past, but FME can do an interview with News Not Houston now and nobody says anything about it. Funny how that works. No, I understand, Renee. I understand fully. That's why it's so funny. So, alright guys. I don't know if or when I'll stream again because it's getting monotonous now. So, not really sure if I may do it or not. But, otherwise, like I said, go check out El Sancho's channel. You can laugh if he's still showing New York Tyrant Posers stuff. Make sure you tell him I sent you so maybe he won't step on me next time. Damn it, Sancho. So, see you later, guys.